You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You know what I mean?
Money to be made in a place like this.
Money never sleeps, pal.
You're crazy. Don't run when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts.
You know what it takes to sell real estate? It takes brass.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
All right, welcome to Money Never Sleeps. This is a show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And today we're talking about global intangible low tax income. Yeah, long name, tax code, corporate tax code is always a long name. It's right. But short version of it is GILTI. That's the acronym. All right. Now, if you don't know what it is, you should actually find out about it because the impact, this is going to impact everyone. And if you don't know about it, again, I think that you should just look it up. Basically, it's corporate taxes on U.S. companies bringing money back to the United States from overseas. And Apple, if you can look at this online, you can find out what Apple did. But prior to 2018, Apple had so much money overseas. They wanted to bring it back. They couldn't because the tax rate, that GILTI tax rate, was huge. And it would, because what happens? You pay taxes when you're doing business overseas. So you're selling products, whatever it is, you're paying those taxes to that government. Now, you can be a U.S. company, do that. You're paying taxes to do that. And then what happens when you bring that money back, you're paying more taxes in the United States. This is where there's a problem. People think that these corporations don't want to pay their taxes. They do, but they don't want to get double taxed. All right, that taxation, that heavy taxation is what's going to kill a lot of things. Okay, now when they had that problem, they were trying to repatriate funds back. They had to go and do a workaround until the Trump administration changed things. They had to go and borrow money here because they were low rates and pay it back over there and do all these things to make it work. The current taxes on foreign profits is about, well, it's not about, it's exactly 10.5%. The Biden administration is looking to double that to a statutory rate of 21%. Okay, that's about more or less what it was prior to the Trump administration. And we know what was happening there. You had companies being acquired by companies overseas. You had a lot of things going on. Basically, that would equate to an effective rate of about 26%. So they're paying taxes in other countries and paying taxes here. And in short, that could come out to about a 600 to $700 billion cost to U.S. businesses over the next decade. Okay, think about it: $600 to $700 billion that can be used to create things, create jobs in the U.S., create a lot of different things. This is going to lead, in my opinion, to more U.S. companies being targets for takeovers by overseas companies. Yeah, everybody loves M&A. They love the action, everything else. But now we're talking about making U.S. companies less competitive. It's going to lead to earnings overseas staying overseas. The hike will make U.S. companies less competitive, and that is what the end result is going to be. It's going to happen. Okay, in 2018, U.S. companies repatriated offshore cash to the U.S. They repatriated here to the tune of about $1 trillion once that GILTI rate came down. That created jobs. That created the boom that we're seeing. That created growth. That allowed corporations to go and build manufacturing plants and create other operations in the United States and go and experiment and take a risk here and do this, allow them to be innovative and bring innovation back to the U.S. And basically doubling that, changing that number, doubling that, the GILTI is going to impact the U.S. growth, I believe. There's no general global tax that's out there. So the United States, the USA, they not only have, having that 10.5% rate now doubling it, potentially, there are going to be consequences to that. And here goes the thing. These consequences, are to the companies, to the corporations initially. Then there's going to be a negative impact on businesses and the economy. And what does that mean at the end of the day? It impacts you, impacts me, impacts everyone. Impacts everyone. It's going to reduce capital spending because think about it, the companies don't have that money to play with anymore. So they're gonna hold back and they're gonna say, hey, wait a second. We can't spend and do this. We got to curb our growth. We can't hire as many people as we need to or we want to. We can't do these things. And you're not going to feel it initially. You're going to feel this in the next. We're all going to feel this in the next, not in the next, but 12 to 24 months after this is initiated. So I hope lawmakers are really thinking about this. I hope the Biden administration is really thinking about this because it can create some issues. Okay. Now, the U.S., look, we've been in boom mode. We've been in boom mode. And according to JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon, I love the guy. Usually he can have a gloom and doom, but this time around, in his address, his 66-page address to his shareholders, okay, he said the potential for this boom to continue through 2023 is there. This hike in GILTI may be felt at that point after the boom. So enjoy the ride while it lasts. Rides never last, right? They have to end sometime. The music has to stop. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, there's more thought put into this as opposed to a quick action to get the quick buck, because that quick buck is going to impact the economy. What Diamond also added is that he sees traditional banks having less of an impact. They're going to be losing their edge. They're going to be losing their market share. When you have Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Google, Walmart, and other fintech companies, they're continuing to grow in this space. These companies are giving their customers a wide array of banking services through their fintech platforms. That's not something that's going to stop. That's something that will continue to grow as we move forward. This is a new world we're in. Okay, you will see companies like Stripe, Square, and SoFi, companies that I like in the fintech space. They're going to continue to expand their footprint. What's going to happen as they start getting into more so into lending and mortgages and other banking services and embracing cryptocurrency and things like that? You're going to see they're going to systematically take chunks. And I'm not talking about little itty bitty chunks. I'm talking decisive chunks out of the traditional banking system. You're going to see it. It's going to happen. So, in short, with these traditional banks, they have a choice. They're either going to pivot and they're going to embrace what the future is going to be, or they're just going to wind up becoming the next casualty of the digital future. Now, the digital future is something that's not going away. It's here. This is our future. This is what we're dealing with. So it's either you embrace it or you don't. If you don't, you're going to be the next Blockbuster. You're going to be the next company that nobody will remember. Next bank that nobody will remember. The next company or group, corporation that'll wind up being acquired and disappearing into the abyss. Anyway, that's it for this segment of the Money Never Sleeps radio show. I want to thank you for tuning in. And I wanted to talk about this because this is important. I do implore you to go look up GILTI, find out more about it, see what's going on so that you can understand what is going on and how this is going to impact you. All right. Until next time, you guys have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic trading day. And I'll be back with you next time on Money Never Sleeps.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you. My father thanks you. My sister thanks you, and I thank you.
All opinions expressed by Luis Velazquez on the Money Never Sleeps radio show and its website are solely his opinions and do not reflect the opinions of the UCW radio show or their parent company or affiliates, and may have been previously disseminated by him on television, radio, internet, or another medium. You should not treat any opinion expressed by him as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of his opinion. His opinions are based upon information he considers to be reliable, but neither the UCW radio show nor its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries warrant its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. The UCW radio show, Luis Velazquez, its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries are not under any obligation to update or correct any information provided on the radio show or on the website. His statements and opinions are subject to change without notice. No part of his compensation from the UCW radio show is related to the specific opinions he expresses. Please read the full disclaimer on MoneyNeverSleepsRadio.com.